Are you ready to take your business to the next level and make the money you want so that you can create the impact you desire? Then you're in the right place. It's possible to run a successful business built around your life. Get ready for a little bit of tough love and a whole lot of strategy to grow your business without sacrificing your sanity. If you're ready to get out of your own way and step into the role of CEO, then let's go. I'm Amy Traw, and this is the Motivated CEO Podcast. As an entrepreneur, we've all had those times when we just want to burn it to the ground, when we are so tempted to quit because it feels like nothing's working. My friend, if you have ever felt this way, you are not alone. I have been through this. Today's guest has been through this. This is the reality. And so often in the online space, we glamorize entrepreneurship. Well, today we are pulling back the curtain and sharing with you strategies of how we can navigate through those quit points. Today's guest, Jessica Chavez, is the founder of Business Ladies of Society. She helps build thriving communities led by empowered professional women. Jessica, thank you so much for being here today. It's great to have you.
I'm so excited. I appreciate you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, it is my pleasure. So let's talk about these quit points as entrepreneurs. Because scrolling social media, it looks like everybody's making 10K months, 100K plus years. And we get to the point as entrepreneurs where it's like, okay, I see everybody else out there succeeding. And if I'm having a bad month, it can be really, really defeating to see that and start to get in our heads. And this is something that you've experienced too. And when I saw this post that you made, I was like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this because it's the reality. We're looking at everyone else's highlight reels and forgetting that this is hard. So as an entrepreneur, I would love to know, how are you able to navigate through some of those quit points in your business?
Well, if you did see my reel, my post, it was like I was just right there along with everybody else. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't need this. It's summer. I want to be with my kids. Yeah, it's just I don't need this. And it's only making me not a better person. Like, it's affecting my mood, my relationships here at home. Um, so really taking a step back, and I know that sounds like so easy, but I'm not somebody who usually asks for help. I do it all on my own. But I finally was like, okay, like universe or higher power or whatever your higher power is, mine is God. Um, okay, I keep hearing that I need to hand this over to someone else, whether that's my relationship with God or um, finding my community. I made this community of women and I encourage them to rely on one another. And when something's not going right or there's a skill that they don't have, to turn to one another. But I'm not even doing that myself. So I have definitely built some amazing friendships in this community and I turn to them. And, it's hard being the business owner and a lot of these friends being my clients, but I really try to create an authentic relationship that we can. We're all women. We're all struggling in this business world, and if I can't put my guard down, how do I expect them to put their guard down? So I definitely reached out to some friends, and I also said, you know what? It is summer right now. What is the one thing about summer that I can't get back? It's my time with my kids. So I'm turning everything off and I'm getting out in nature. I live in the Seattle area, so I have it out in my backyard. So I grab them and I've got two of my kids are teenagers. They mumbled and grumbled, but I said, this isn't really about you right now. It's about mom, and I don't want to be with anyone else but you. And it really just put things into perspective.
Thank you so much for being just so open and honest because we need to hear that. And this is something so many of us go through. We're going through these periods in our business where things are down. And especially summer, if you were a mom, things are even more of a juggle. Because if your kids are home, now they're constantly asking you for things. It's so hard to focus when you're running a business. Just because they're on summer break, mama's still working.
Yeah. And I
But
can't tell you how many times we've had cereal for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I'm like,
same.
go make that.
Right.
And yeah,
Right, exactly. And we go into survival mode and knowing that, you know what, if you're hearing this and you're going, oh my gosh, I've totally done that too. Yeah, you're not alone, not alone
mm,
at all. But the fact that you did something as simple as taking a step back, yes, that sounds like such advice that we hear over and over and over, but that truly is step one. Sometimes you just need to stop. You need to stop
mhm,
what you're doing and get back to, okay, why am I doing what I'm doing? So I can be with my family. So why am I doing what I'm doing again, 24/7, burning myself out? No, let's stop and let's spend some time with my family, because what that does is it refuels your soul. It fills you
absolutely.
back up. And it feels counterintuitive because we're so used to go, go, go. I mean, even society just drills it in our minds that more is better, productivity, all the hustle. But when you realize sometimes taking a break is the best thing you can do, it's a game changer. And then to add in getting outside, just getting some
Yeah,
fresh air, that always helps me immensely.
absolutely.
How did
Yeah.
you feel? Like, did you have any guilt about taking the step back, or were you just to the point where you're like, nope, I am totally done with this and something's got to give here?
Well, I was at that point. I was at my breaking point. I have felt moments of burnout before, but last week I really hit that wall. I guess I'm not at my rock bottom because I'm here this week and I'm back with full force. Um, but I know I experienced the breakdown, wanting to throw things, just bawling on the floor, like, what is this all for? Um, and that's the reality of it, and we don't see that on Instagram. We see, "Hey, follow me, and in, 2 months, you're gonna have this many followers, and in this month, you're gonna be making, 6 figures, 7 figures." And you're just like, "What did they do? What is it about them that was able to achieve that, and why can't I do that?" And I'm not saying it's fluff, but it's only a very small portion. And so I just thrive off of realness. That's how I connect with people. And if you can't be authentic, if I can't feel like there's a connection where we could sit down and have a conversation, I follow a lot of those people just for inspiration, but they're not really my people. I love the people that I can sit down and be like, that is a girlfriend. We can
Yeah.
have girlfriend conversations, and that's what I need to really motivate me.
Yeah, we all do. We really do. But the thing that I appreciate most about this is that you're saying, I'm no different than you. Like, we all go through this. What you're doing is leading by example. You're showing up as a leader because you are willing to raise your hand and go, I need help. And that is so hard to do. I think those are honestly three of the hardest words to learn how to say. To ask for help, number one, but then to be willing to receive it. And that
Yeah.
is key, is being open then to receiving, because we all have people in our network that would support us if we only asked. But think about it. How many times do people ask, what do you need? And you're like, oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. But we're not willing to put ourselves in that position of being vulnerable. But when we do, it helps empower them because it's showing them, hey, you need help too. It's okay. And the reciprocity of that whole piece is real. People want to help us just as much as we want to help them. And that's where your
Yeah.
network really, really helps and is so powerful as an entrepreneur to get you through. How did your network support you through this challenging time, and how do they continue to support you?
Well, backing up, just based on what you were saying, like I was thinking about why it is so hard to ask for help because there have been times I feel like I have let down my guard and I said, okay, I could use help. And it's always easier said than done. Someone could be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what can I do for you?" And then when you're actually saying, "Okay, this is what I need," they're like, "Oh," it was like, "Oh, I was just supposed to say that. I really didn't have intention behind that." So, how does my network have helped me? I really feel like I've attracted the right women, women that are not going to let me down, because I know that I've seen it. I've seen them be in similar experiences. I've seen myself be able to swoop in and help and be authentic to them. And so it's just built this level of, like you said, I can never say the word, so you go ahead and
I
say it.
struggled with it for years. Reciprocity. I know.
Yeah.
I had to practice that word. It is so funny. Like, can't we come up with a simpler word for it?
Yeah. We're calling it recip. I can't
Yes,
even say
yes,
that.
exactly.
But I just think that when you build a community of camaraderie and um, you tirelessly show up. I'm not saying, say yes to everything. I'm not saying, put down your boundaries, but when there is legit, authentic relationships being built and that trust being built, and they see that you're willing to show up for them when they've had a rough day, they're going to want to do it. We're told all the time that people actually do want to serve. So I think it's just surrounding yourself with the right people. It's not like you go into, friendships and communities with a thought, okay, what am I going to get out of this if I'm like struggling? But I think just, yeah, just finding the like-minded ladies, and I keep saying ladies, if for those who are listening, and you read the name of our business, but it is a women's group, and so um, I just cannot express enough how much the ladies in this community actually serve me more than I could ever think about serving them. So
I love
I
it.
must be doing something right. Not
Yes.
everyone agrees. The reason I was having such a down week is because someone who just didn't really understand our community just had so many things to say, and it was shocking because it was like so out of left field. And I know these things are true, but it still hurts. And so just finding the people that are like, that is, why are you even listening to that? I know, but you need those friends to kind of almost call you out, like, you're being ridiculous right now. You really are. Those things aren't true. How many times have I told you those things aren't true? And you're like, you're right, you're right. So
Yeah. And that's the reality of it. We're not going to be for everyone, but it stings. When you get negative feedback about something you're doing, it really does sting. But the fact that you then were able to have someone call you out and be like, no, this is not true. This is one person. Our minds tend to magnify the negative as a survival mechanism. I mean, that is just how the human brain works. But again, just goes to show the power of having a group of people around you that can help lift you up when you are down, to help you keep going so that you can step into your purpose and impact even more lives. And an awesome way that you're doing this is by curating this amazing event happening in September in Washington State. Tell us more about your event, who it's for, what they can expect. Give us all the details.
yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up. So our conference in September is called Power Up. And last year I did a conference and there was an emphasis on the her. Again, I wanted that to be the theme this year. So POW, and then HER in big bold letters. Um, it's really like a misconception with business ladies as society is that you have to be a business owner. But I cannot stress enough that we want all the women. Because whether you are a business owner, you work for a corporation, you're a stay at home mom, you are doing the dang thing and you need support, and you need women who are at a level where the conversation is different. You walk in and to the room and you know that there's something genuine, but also the quality is at a higher level. And so we may come together on the level of business, but I tell a lot of people this, that's not why women in my community stay, because the relationships are so strong. So I encourage any woman who is a woman who needs a day where they just need to be surrounded by uplifting um, information, inspiration, um, building those experiences, um, all are invited. And we are so blessed to have some amazing speakers. Two of our speakers, Ellen Yin, who has a podcast, and she's just a plethora of knowledge. And she just won Mrs. Oregon. So, put another feather in her cap. She's amazing. And then we have Miracle, and I always, poor thing, I always break up her last name, Tonji. She is from Seattle, and she has built a women's community, and she's also written a book all about your purpose and your net worth and your network and how all those things really lead with impact. And so, among many other speakers, we've got great subjects for everyone, whether you're have a mom and pop shop, or you're building this seven-figure, industry, or not industry, corporation. And I'm really excited about, we have diverse industries. We've got women in the trades. It's it's a really amazing group of women coming in from all areas. And so I love that we can learn from one another. And my most favorite part, it should be the conference. It should really be about that tactical information, but we are doing a VIP night the night before. And that's really where the connections are going to be. We're calling it Slumber Party, again, with an emphasis on the her and slumber. And so it's just gonna be a really great night. We're gonna have vendors, shopping, dinner. Again, that's where the networking is going to happen. So just building those strong relationships and making it just one step easier going into the conference the next day. If you don't know anyone, you're going to totally know people by the next day. And those connections are already going to be built. And so then it'll be so much more comfortable to sit there and to really absorb the business aspect of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it really sounds like just such an uplifting, yet tactical conference. Like you're getting the mindset, you're getting the strategy, you're getting the connections. You're really pulling together all these vital pieces that we need as women running businesses, as women that are in leadership roles, no matter what that position is. It sounds like this is something for everyone, all women to attend. So definitely make sure you check it out. If you go to bloswa.com and sign up for Jessica's newsletter, she is going to send you a code to save $50 off of your ticket. So make sure you go check that out, grab your ticket, because this conference is going to be absolutely incredible. Jessica, thank you so much for just being so open and transparent with us, because this is the reality. This is the reality of entrepreneurship that we don't always see, that we're
It
always judging the highlight reel, right? So thank you.
It's like, yeah, and I just want to add, when you look at our social media, we think that entrepreneurship is not a lonely thing, but really when it comes down to it, it is. And so I challenge every woman, wherever you are listening, find your community, find a similar high vibe um, event that gets you in the room and starts creating relationships with women, that so when this does happen, you have your tribe. And that's such a cliche word, but I'm sorry, it really is, it's meaningful. And so I challenge every woman, wherever you are, to look for that,
Yes.
and then be active. Don't
Yes.
let it happen to you. Get in there and be active and vulnerable and authentic.
Yeah. That is the key right there. The opportunities are out there no matter where you live. There are
Agree.
opportunities in your area. And if you're not finding what nourishes your soul, what you need, start your own. There are
Oh
some
yeah.
awesome opportunities out there. If you're not seeing what you need, be the trailblazer to go first, to raise your hand and be like, okay, let's try it, let's build it. Because chances are you're not alone. So be willing to seek out those opportunities or build your own table if you need to.
Love
Jessica,
it.
thank you again so much for being here with
Yeah,
us
thank you so
today.
much. Appreciate you.
And until next time, cheers to making the money you want so you can create the impact you desire. Are you loving what you're hearing? Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.